Hi, everyone. This is Felicia Brown with One Concept Radio, where I'm getting to know experts and educators from the massage, chiropractic, acupuncture, and spa professions. Today, I'm here with Andrea Collins. Andrea has been a massage therapist for 14 years and is now giving back to the profession. She brings her years of experience and additional training to help therapists through her writing and courses in both techniques and business. Welcome back, Andrea.
Hello. Glad to be back.
Well, it's nice to have you today. I'm excited to see you at the upcoming conference in October up in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, we're going to have a great time up there. And before the conference and just in general, we're trying to share information and ideas from presenters in all of these different fields. So today I'd like to hear your thoughts on a few different things. First of all, I'm wondering, how do you define wellness?
I think wellness it's a healthy balance of nourishing our minds, bodies, and spirits. Our minds through like intellectual stimulation, our bodies through like nutrition and nourishment, food, exercise, massage, body treatments, and spirit through faith, religion, family, or friends.
Well, definitely. It's a very nice well-rounded picture, and I know a lot of the people that I've been interviewing about that have definitely said that it is much more than just the absence of disease or, the absence of pain. It's really about having a well-rounded life and enjoying a state of positive well-being all the time. Absolutely.
Because there's some people who they have this positive, like they look like they're well, but they're fighting something in their body, but just their outlook helps them deal with being well the rest of the time while dealing with different things that can go on in their bodies.
Absolutely. Well, there are so many aspects to healing and health and wellness, and as you said, some of it's not visible from the outside. There are plenty of people that have all kinds of issues on the inside, and it might not even be their physical health. It might be their mental or spiritual health. So
absolutely.
I think it's important for us as professionals to recognize that we're not just dealing with people in physical pain. There's other kinds of pains, too, that are below the surface.
Yeah.
So you've been in the profession of massage for quite a while. I'm wondering if there's anything you wish you could change about the massage or wellness profession as a whole.
We're keeping it to 15 minutes, so.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it because, this program and the group of One Concept conferences is really about making a better world one person at a time. And, through the healing arts, we hope to do that. But there might be some dysfunction out there. So what would you like to change?
My answer is kind of twofold. First, I'd like to see more standardization in the competencies of massage education nationally with an increased foundation in the research and in school accreditation so that we know that the students are learning what they're supposed to be learning when they're coming out. By doing that, this would lead to a broader formal recognition of the benefits of our massage treatments or even other treatments, leading to increased cooperation between the traditional and the complementary medicine. This would create a system that acknowledges all three parts of the wellness we just talked about.
So you're saying that the way you see it right now, that there is no standardization or not the level that you'd like to see in Canada.
Canada's getting better, and I think because Canada and U.S. are so quite closely related for a lot of things, and I know that with social media now, we're getting a lot more feedback from our southern neighbors about their levels and stuff, and it would be nice to have national, like in an ideal world with unicorns and rainbows and stuff, to have a North American standard, which would be incredible, because anybody can go anywhere for massage and know what to expect.
Right. Well, I know I just learned recently that, I knew that the training necessities were different in different provinces of Canada, and that there's some that don't have any requirement. But what I didn't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is that in Ontario, people don't necessarily have to be, they don't have to go through all the same level of training to do just basic massage that an RMT does. Is that right?
Not quite. In order to be considered a registered massage therapist or a massage therapist in Ontario, you have to be registered with our college, the College of Massage Therapists of Ontario. Yes, you can do relaxation massage,
Right.
which is what an esthetician does, which is what people who don't pass the boards, if they work in spas or in other locations where they're doing massage or Reiki sometimes, they can do massage, but it's not considered under our umbrella as a registered health professional and under the legislation that protects us.
Right, that's what I was saying. So in the U.S., we don't have that designation difference in any place that I'm aware of. It's not like you have, these are the relaxation massage therapists and they don't have to go through training, and then you have the licensed massage therapists and they do. It's either you're licensed in a state or you're not. It's not. There's not an in between or a secondary level. So that was kind of surprising to me. I didn't realize that those relaxation therapists were not RMTs.
And unfortunately, there's people who are now starting to prey upon those slight differences in the minor technicalities, and I won't mention any of their names, but trying to bring us to a different level and trying to create a name for themselves, saying, well, you don't need all this education. We do just as good work as they do. And it's really frustrating.
Right. Well, and I'm sure that's something all of us look at when you've gone through the schooling and you've taken the training and you've passed these various exams to get your license or your RMT designation, depending on, because we have a lot of U.S. listeners that will be coming up to this conference as well, that
which is great.
You know, it's frustrating because you feel like you've paid your dues, you've put in the work, and to see someone that's not done the same thing and maybe they're undercutting you or that the public doesn't understand the difference, and I think that's a big part of it there, then it is very frustrating.
It is. The worst part is trying to protect the public, because they go to someone who does massage thinking that it's someone who has been trained the same way I have, when it's someone who hasn't been trained, and they can potentially be hurt, which is why we were accepted into the regulated health professions years and years ago. Right.
Well, thinking about that and all the things that the trained massage therapists go through to further their career, I'm wondering, is there any advice that you would give massage therapists and other wellness professionals, besides that initial training, to achieve success and stay in the business for the long haul?
And that's exactly it, is that my one piece of advice for anybody doing wellness, constantly improve your skills. What you've learned in school is just the foundations of your profession. You don't know everything. There's so much more to learn through either experience from other therapists or through other courses that you can take to be more efficient and how to do things more efficiently, because you don't know everything when you come out of school. Experience is a big life learner. And if you think you know everything, you're going to have a big shock down the road. The second part is you got to take care of your tools. With most wellness, our bodies are our tools, especially so with massage therapy, because if you break an arm, if you break your shoulder, if you injure your shoulder, it's not like you can go buy a new one. They don't come with replacement parts nowadays, or yet. You never know in the future. So you have to take care of your body in order to help take care of your clients. So, and this is where the classes where I'm trying to focus is to help other people at the conferences and to help with prolonging their careers and thinking about massage not as a formulaic way, but kind of expanding things and saying, basically, the world is your option. You figure out what you can do and play with it from there.
So are there any specific takeaways that you can tell me about that people can expect to get in your classes that are that you're going to have at the Canadian Massage and Chiropractic Conference, or just in general? Because I know this is not the only place that you teach.
Yeah, no, I'm doing courses all over. I'm actually doing some work in Regina for business. But as far as the conference goes, what I'm offering is a couple different courses about massaging smarter, not harder. I realize that we need to be smart with the way we apply our treatments so we can avoid our injuries in our body, as well as prolong our careers, as you mentioned before. And that starts with being aware of how you actually use your body and apply your treatments. It's funny, we all go in massage school and everybody's watching us, and then the second we're out, we practice on our own. When was the last time you had somebody watch you do your massage and watch your posture? So that's something that I'm going to bring to one of my classes on Sunday morning with the sideline class, is to make sure that, are you using your body properly? Are you hunching over and abusing your joints so that you're going to cause injury over time? And the other part is about the techniques that we use. If you have a variety of techniques at your disposal, you'll be able to adapt them to the treatments to each individual's tissues. So you're not using the same thing over and over again. And this will allow you to treat more of your clients' tissues, so that when what you normally use, oh goodness.
Just take a breath. You're doing fine.
So that you have more options. So when what you normally use doesn't work, you've got something else to fall back on.
Well, that's important. I can tell you that as a very athletic person, I've had a number of injuries, not to my hands per se, thankfully, but to my knee or my back or what have you. And suddenly you're forced, when you have something like that, you're forced to do things a different way.
Yes.
If you don't know how to do it a different way, then you're sort of stuck. And I can, say thankfully, knock on wood, I was able to work without much of a problem. But one thing I've done in the recent past, just in the last year, is learn a modality that is completely different, and that if I even broke an arm or a hand, I could still do it. And,
yeah, that's amazing.
That's a really huge thing. As someone who's been in practice for 20 years, I know what it's like to have an injury where you can't work. I remember quite vividly cutting my hand on a can of cat food one day. I know it's not the big things that hurt you; it's the little things, the everyday average, run-of-the-mill task. And I had to get stitches, and it cut me between my thumb and index finger, right in the web of the hand. So it wasn't just a place that, I've got to cover it and be careful, but, movement really pulled on that cut. And that was maybe my first year in practice. I had no idea what to do. So, I can tell everybody listening firsthand, you've got to take these classes. Andrea knows what she's talking about, and can really help you figure things out in case you do get into a pinch like that.
Yeah, and it's just the little tips and tricks that you pick up along the way that I've kind of conglomerated together, and it's just, if no one tells you, you don't pick them up on your own.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, there's definitely tricks of the trade that those of us, those seasoned professionals out there, ourselves included, have learned, and that's a great thing about taking classes, whether you're at a conference or you're watching a DVD or you're just working with someone one-on-one as a mentor. You find things out that you will never see, come up with on your own. Unless you're just
or even get together with
people.
groups of other therapists and just do a massage and watch each other do it. And so how would you treat this, and watch and go get treatments. That's how I learned so much, was getting treatments from other therapists.
You're speaking my language, absolutely. I tell people all the time, one of the best things you can do to improve your work is to just go get massage from others. Mm-hmm. And, give massage to other professionals that are willing to give you feedback on what you're doing that's great and what's maybe not so great. How you can be more effective at the techniques that you're currently doing so that they actually work and are less taxing on your body.
Mhm. And it's hard, though, when someone's on the table because they can't really see what you're doing and how you're doing it. Mhm. They can relate to what they're feeling and how the tissues are feeling, but you still need someone to be, that's why when a group of 3, you can have somebody else watching what you're doing to make sure you're not hunched over or you don't have your elbow at a funny angle and you're going to be causing problems for yourself. Right.
Well, you're giving me some great ideas with the therapist that I've just hired, some new ways to do some training. So maybe I'll have a chance to pop in your classes there. Before we wrap up, Andrea, I want to ask you one other thing, and that is, one of the big focuses of the One Concept Group and all of their conferences is on community. And, community is a pretty broad term, looking at, our massage and wellness community, our communities at large, the communities of our patients or clients. But in particular, we're really looking at the interdisciplinary community of different groups, chiropractic, massage, acupuncture, spa, and so forth. So I'm wondering, how do you see the different healing professions working together or collaborating in the future?
I'm hoping that this is where the healthcare is going in the future because it makes a lot more sense. It's a concept I had heard. It was mentioned a couple times. You say it's interdisciplinary versus multidisciplinary. In the past, you always heard of the clinics that are multidisciplinary, where there's a number of different therapists, different kinds of therapists under one roof. They all work in the same area and they all work in the same clinic, but they don't communicate. They don't have clients. It's not a true team effort. Where I think if we were, like I heard other people discussing this, and it's just an amazing thing where you have physiotherapists, and I think they're physical therapists down in the U.S.,
right?
Working with massage therapists, working with chiropractors, working with even medical doctors and so you've got a whole team of people, and the person goes in there, and all the therapists meet, and after an assessment, they all decide what's the best route for treatment for that person.
Right.
So instead of just getting a massage therapist view and then they go see their physiotherapist or their chiropractor, they all work together, so there's no duplication. They work much better together, and that way the person heals faster.
Well, it's been a very common suggestion from the experts that I've been talking to, and I hope that we're getting into this tipping point sort of a situation where there are enough influential people thinking this way that it starts to become the trend and the norm rather than just an idea that we're all wishing for.
Yeah, unfortunately, the one small problem with that is it's challenging for therapists a lot when they're self-employed, because if you're self-employed in these clinics, if you're working as a team and you're being employed, that's one thing where you don't have to worry about if you don't have a client, if you're not busy, especially with today's economy, you never know what's going to happen with the next up or down. You have to be worried about not having clients. And I think that's where we have to, as therapists, let that go. Breathe it on out, realizing that if you're good and you're good at what you do and you work as a team and your clients are getting better, they will come back and they will refer friends. And that's the way that the business will work.
Absolutely. I think if you create a resource that provides people with what they need and they are getting it, whether it's from you specifically or from your team as a whole, they are going to become raving fans, as you might say, and they're going to come back again and again and bring all their friends with them.
Well, exactly. And what's the best kind of referral? The one, oh, yeah, I got better, yeah. Or this injury I had, they helped me heal in like 3 weeks rather than the 3 months it took me the last time when I was just dealing with the one person here and the one person there.
Right.
That's huge.
It is. A much higher level of effectiveness and efficiency when you've got that level of teamwork and communication. And
Absolutely.
I think that's what we all want to see is for people to get better sooner and to stay that way.
Absolutely. And that's the one thing that I'm very thankful that the one concept have the vision to look at the collective healthcare communities and realize that they need to create a forum for us to get together and communicate with each other so that we can overcome some of these little obstacles and really work as a team and realize that we're not all different, that we can work together and not have to butt heads and have to be fearful of the other profession, whereas we can really work together.
That's right. Well, I couldn't agree with you more. I feel very fortunate that One Concept has come together to bring these ideas and great thinkers together, both here on this program as well as in the conferences and just as a community. Mm-hmm. Andrea, you're an important part of our community, and I want to make sure everybody that's listening gets a chance to find out what you do if they're not going to be able to reach you at this particular conference. What's your best contact information?
The best way to contact me is through my website, rmthelp.ca, or my email is andrea@rmthelp.ca, and all that information is on my website. And I'm always open to come out and talk to people, no matter where you are, whether it's down in the States or across Canada.
Fantastic. And just to be sure, that's help, rmthelp.ca.
That's right.
Okay, just want to make sure we got those letters
Helping
right.
RMTs.
Fantastic. Well, we're so glad to have you here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the upcoming conference in Niagara Falls.
Great. Thanks for chatting with me.
Sure.
And looking forward to seeing you.
Oh, it'll be a great time once again. And for everyone listening, if you'd like to learn more from Andrea Collins, please plan on joining us for the One Concept Canadian Massage and Chiropractic Conference in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, rather than in the U.S. That'll be Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. That's October 18th through the 20th. If you'd like to register or find more about Andrea's classes and any other classes, just go to www.oneconcept, that's the word one, O-N-E, concept.com, for more information and to register. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a fabulous day.